Hey Geekly, Kikai Wafra here, and today pull up a stool because we've got a juicy one to unpack. We're talking about Rian Johnson and his asshole studio cut of the upcoming Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery, the next chapter in the Knives Out series. The article's right here in the description, give it a look. So here's the deal. Rian Johnson said that while he was wrapping this new film, he and his editor buddy made a copy of the movie and then re-edited it as if he were that asshole studio executive. He says they cut about 30 minutes from the version we'll see. He did this not to actually release the brutal cut, but to use it as a lens, like, what if the industry suit ran this? And then after watching it, he went, okay, maybe those cuts actually hurt the ending, so we add most of it back. Alright, now let's hit the good stuff. Why is this actually kind of awesome? For one, it shows the filmmaker being reflective about his film. He's not just locked in and shouting, we're done. He's saying, hey, let's test this from a tough angle and see what holds up. That's smart. It signals he's open to critique and not blindly in love with every second of his film. And for fans of the Knives Out series, it suggests he's invested in making sure the emotional beats and pacing are solid, especially since this third film is reportedly the longest of the three. And given how the first two films got strong responses, you'd expect them to aim for quality. So yeah, on paper, this is welcome. A creator being reflective about his film, leveraging odd tools to make the film sharper. Good on him. But, and you know I always have a but because I'm your jaded buddy of geek culture, here's where I start twitching. Because while the story of we made the asshole studio cut and then we re-edited it is fun PR theater, it also smells just a little like corporate dance. It's like, we're being told, look how much effort we put in, look how serious we are. And that could be genuine, but it also could be a gloss over the fact that the studio side already exerts huge power. And the story is written to make it look like the filmmaker is the one doing the hacking, whereas in reality, maybe some of those cuts were always baked in by internal pressure. That old war story. So yes, the asshole studio cut angle is appealing, but also convenient because it cast Rian not just as the creator, but as the victim executive, giving us a behind-the-scenes week. Are we being sold transparency or just the illusion of it? Digging deeper, the part where Johnson says the exercise allowed him to see why certain scenes did have to be there, that's the bit that raises the question. If you had to do that, why weren't those questions asked earlier in production? It suggests that maybe the film was padded or had bloated sequences and needed this radical chop, which is fine, but from the outside it can look like either creators' self-critique or creators' panic at schedule studio demands, or studio-demanded cuts and we're packaging it as our own experiment. Also, by saying, I might start doing this on every movie, he's laying groundwork for future films with the same gimmick. So yes, there's creativity, but also a self-aware marketing message. And yeah, one more layer. The storytelling of we cut it brutally, then put things back, now we're good, sounds reassuring, but it's also kind of playing to the fans' anxiety. Don't worry, you'll get the stuff you love, we tested it. It raises the question, were those scenes always going to be kept because fans love them? Was the initial version dripping with, okay, add more scenes so duration looks premium? Or was it trimmed because of theater running concerns? Either way, we see a filmmaker applauding himself for surviving the cut hammer bullshit. Bullshit or not. So the big question I want to leave Geekly with is this genuinely a creator's move to refine art? Or is this a narrative spun to make us feel insiders, while the real power play remains hidden? I don't know, and that's the point. We can celebrate the ambition, but we also must call out the PR spin. So here's your call. I've laid out the case for why this is positive and the case for why this might be hype, or at least packaged narrative. Now you decide. Is Rian Johnson's asshole studio cut move a genuine piece of filmmaking transparency and refinement, or is it mostly a polished piece of marketing theater that frames the filmmaker as rebel to distract from real studio constraints? Let me know what you think. Seriously? Did they actually dare? And that's the full debrief on this Knives Out Studio shenanigan. If you enjoyed the ride, smash that like button, subscribe, and drop your hottest take in the comments. I want to hear it all. If you feel like going pro level and buying me a coffee, the link is right below. Quick question for the next deep dive. Worst sequel twist or best cameo surprise? Hit me with your vote. I'll catch you on the next Flash. This was Kikai Wafra for NewsGeekly.